All right, let's get into it. Hello and welcome everybody to episode 107 of the GGG Podcast. As always, I am Paul and I am joined by my co-host Phil. We got a good show for you. Lots of updates to current games that we've been playing for a while. Happily this week, we're going to break them all down. We're going to talk about them, and then we're going to talk a little Steam Machine for our main topic at the end of the episode. But before we get into that, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio only version on Spotify or Apple Podcast, follow us over there as well. Phil, having a marvelous year so far?
Yeah. No, I've been playing a lot of. I have been playing a lot of Marvel Legends, if that's one thing.
Marvel
since
Legends,
the new year. Marvel Rivals.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
Marvel Legends are the action figure line associated with Marvel, which is I used
see.
to collect, but I stopped. I've stopped.
You stopped. It's under control.
Now I just want little squares of cardboard. But now, the Marvel Rivals I've been playing a lot of. Playing some Arc Raiders. Played through the event. There's now new challenges, so there's a lot of. There's always every week there's something cool happening in Arc Raiders. But Marvel Rivals has kind of settled where not everybody's picking Rogue, not everybody's picking Gambit anymore. Like you can kind of get in and play whatever you want. You probably are not gonna, if you want decent team composition, gonna be able to play Duelist, but I don't care. I like all of the other. I like Ultron. I like Gambit. I like Cloak and Dagger. I like pretty much all the tanks except for the Hulk.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. I'm getting pretty good with Rogue. Like she's got this really cool ability where she kicks people over the air, and then you can hit them for a little while and slam them back in the ground. Yeah, fun game. Besides that, not too much. I guess a lot of Absalom. Like I finished the main boss of Absalom, and I'm just going back and doing it with all the characters.
I was thinking about picking that up and playing it with you because it's a 4-person co-op game, right?
2-person co-op, actually.
2-person.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on.
There's just 4 characters to pick from.
4 characters. I see. Very cool.
But it is quite the fun game. Yeah, if you ever want to, let me know. I'm down to play it with you.
Is it on Steam exclusively, or is it on the?
It's on everything.
It's on everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Is it cross-platform?
That's a good question. I'll have to look that up while you tell me what you've been playing.
Okay. Well, I've been playing some more Outer Worlds 2. Made some progress with some companion quests, typical RPG companion quests. So that's been fun. Been getting back into Arc Raiders. I was trying to do the whole winter event in 3 days, and I was not successful in it through. And mostly because I can't find freaking candleberries. That was so annoying that I couldn't find candleberries, and that I was stuck on light bulbs, trying to find light bulbs for a very, very long time. So, but whatever. I did see that they released an update because they went over 10 million players. I think they're technically at 12 million players. But they passed out everyone who had bought the game a new Raider tool. So, the crowbar
straight
thing.
Gold.
Yeah. So I'm down for that. That's very cool. So been playing that. My late night game has been Frostpunk because I feel like I'm inevitably going to lose in Frostpunk. And when I start to lose, I'm and now I know it's time to go to bed. So
it's time for bed.
Yes. So that's been that. And then been playing Rematch. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. Still want you to get back on. I know one day you'll come back.
Maybe
he says. So we will see. But yeah, I played a little Mario Kart with my partner. But
nice.
That's it's pretty much been it. I've been kind of busy. So even though I played all of those games, I might have played each of them for 1 hour over this last week. So yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the major releases this week. We only got one major release this week, and that is the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake that got announced. I think it was last year it got announced, but yeah, it's coming out on January 16th, so a few days after this recording. I wanted to highlight this because I feel like Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time was really the Prince of Persia that made Prince of Persia into like a classic video game.
Hmm.
And why they chose this specific one to make the remake. This is the first Prince of Persia I ever played. I loved it, and I think that it very much successfully uh, did a lot of platforming mechanics that had been done in some games before, but hadn't really been executed to the level and precision that this game successfully managed to do with like the wall running and the jumping and like the puzzle platforming it was able to put in while still, being an action game at the
Yeah.
same time. So it's a classic Prince of Persia. If you've never played it, I might recommend getting the remake. I will note, seeing the trailers, the graphics are not that good. And
Looks pretty rough.
it looks kind of rough. And the only reason I say that is because this is a remake. This isn't a enhanced, version. It's a remake, and you figured they would remake it kind of like with a new I'm sure this is a new engine, but to me this kind of feels like they put this through a program uh to make it look better instead of actually like, okay, let's remake the character design of the prince so that it looks like it was supposed to, but it looks like it's also in modern graphics. And this kind of doesn't. It kind of looks like this is an early PS4 game at best. So that's a
Hmm.
little disappointing for me.
Yeah, it looks pretty rough. The faces look like there's no depth to them. They're just sort of like flat. I
Yeah.
mean, the structures and everything look cool, but that is also not hard to do in a game like this. Prince of Persia is such a good game, and I feel like this one, like you said, it kind of brought 3D platforming back in a way that it hadn't. Because this was like PS2 Xbox era.
Yeah.
It brought it back in a way that it hadn't existed except outside of like the N64. Um, very cool game. But I think if you want to play a Prince of Persia game, there's some other good Prince of Persia games that came
Yeah.
out within the last calendar year that are also very good and probably better than this. Um,
Yeah.
so
What is the name of the Prince of Persia game that you love so much? The 2D, I think it was 2D.
so both of them that came out last year were 2D, but there's Rogue Prince of Persia
Mhm.
and then Prince of Persia and the Something King. I really love Rogue Prince of Persia. It is a roguelike, a lot like Dead Cells from the same development team,
Yeah.
and it's all about momentum and kicking butt. So pretty good.
Right on. Right on. Right
Yeah.
on. All right. Well, let's get into the news. Like I said, lots of updates this week. First of which is a little bit of a surprise because the Animal Crossing update that was supposed to be released tomorrow actually got released a day early today. So that's very exciting. I know my partner is chomping at the bit for the Animal Crossing update. So let's go through and say what is coming with this update and what you should be able to play as soon as you update your Animal Crossing game. First up is you will now have Slumber Islands. When your villager goes to sleep, they can now choose the option Slumber Time to go to a new dream world introduced in the 3.0 update. That sounds really cool. The resort hotel facility is going to be added as well. There's fashion opportunities. If you're a fashionista, you can also plan and suggest outfits for the hotel guests to wear during their stay. Oh, that's very fun. A little bit of bed and breakfast vibes I'm getting. Hotel
Mhm.
promotion. Yeah, it seems like this is a whole industry it's building into the hotel things.
Mhm.
Increased home storage. I know that's something a lot of Animal Crossing players have been asking for. Resetti's reset service. So if you need to, I guess, let's see, it's finally time for an easier island cleanup. This update introduces Resetti's reset service, a new feature that gives you the ability to clear out flowers and furniture and more in bulk instead of doing things one at a time. And then there's Nintendo items that are being added to the game. There's a Lego collaboration. So there's going to
Mhm.
be a bunch of, you can make a Lego house, Lego room. And then specifically with the Nintendo stuff, there is a Legend of Zelda and Splatoon crossover items. And it looks like some elements of gameplay. as well. So that's freaking awesome. I know people have been like, since this was announced, people have wanted this so bad. And I am glad that this is such a big update because of the complete lack of support that Animal Crossing
this game has gotten.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten anything, and it's like, I'm glad they were working on something, and I'm glad that it's finally here now. So that's stupendous. So
this game is so funny because it makes you go slow. Like, it makes you be like, all right, well, you can't play more till tomorrow, so enjoy.
Yep.
And now it, after, what is it, 4 years, 5 years? They're like,
yeah.
I think it's 5 at least. No, maybe 6 because it launched in 2020. I don't know.
I think it's 2020. Yeah.
The better part of a decade, they said, "You want to play on Switch 2? We'll fix some things." And
Yeah.
that's it. How long can you stay in the Slumber Islands? I wonder. Like, are you allowed to just go in there and live your life, and then like?
I don't know. That's something I'm definitely going to ask my partner about to check out. But that sounds really cool. It's just like with the hotel stuff and the Slumber Islands, it seems like there's two really unique aspects of gameplay that are being added into the game instead of just, I mean, and this included with the other stuff, but the other stuff is just like, here's Nintendo items, here's different items of this. And so it's nice when there's actually gameplay added as well. So very happy for Switch 2 owners. Well, I guess this is also available on the regular Switch as well, right?
Yeah. I feel like you're gonna get the most out of it by playing it on the Switch 2.
Yes, of course.
But yeah,
nah. All right. Yeah.
Up
hit
next,
this one.
Battlefield.
Woo!
You know it, you love it. Battlefield 6. Honestly, pretty good launch. And then the game continued. But Battlefield season update is being delayed. Is it till February 17th, I believe is the... yes, February 17th.
Yes.
Later than expected. And this is the result of the Battlefield team going back and working on some of the player feedback they got. So, like, costumes, some of the different roadmap things that you would find, and hopefully the way the battle pass is set up, because it was definitely wacky. But I feel like this is a delay that is a good delay, but also a delay for things I don't care about, because the seasonal stuff for Battlefield is not what's important to me.
Yeah.
I go into Battlefield for a good time, not to dress as SpongeBob or whatever they want to sell me.
100%. Yeah, I feel like this is interesting. I do want to dig into this a little bit, just because I feel like there's a problem that Battlefield has in the modern, like, how shooters are set up these days, which is like, shooters are set up, especially like when you look at Call of Duty, and we're going to talk about Call of Duty a little later in the news. But shooters are set up to be like, hey, this is a battle pass. You play through, you get the battle pass, and we just give you cosmetics. That is your reward for things. But in Battlefield, the major push is like, hey, we don't want all these crazy cosmetics, because we do want to feel like this is an immersive, somewhat realistic war game. But then that right there presents a problem. Because it's like, how do they actually create cosmetics that are interesting and that players are going to want, but then keep them within realism, where they don't really look that different from the standard equipment that you're going to be using on everyday soldiers? So I think that EA is in a bit of a bind here. I'm glad that they have been responding to player feedback. We've seen videos and pictures that came out last year with the first season's Battle Pass, where it was like, hey, this was like bright neon green, and we really toned it down because you guys didn't like it. And now it's just it's like dark green, kind of hinting at green. But like, that's a more realistic change. But at the same time, for me as a player, I'm like, why am I going to buy that? Like, I don't, like, it barely looks different. So,
it's that is the thing, is like, if they want to make it really realistic, then it's going to look exactly like the stuff that we've had. And if they want to make it look wacky, it is going to kind of ruin the game. So unless you come out with a new class and then like multiple skins for that, there is not really a reason to get any of these skins, in my opinion. Because why would you want to stand out in a game that is mostly about hiding for 20 minutes and busting someone in the head?
I don't know. And so it's like I'm trying to figure out what they could actually do in a battle pass aside from cosmetics, and I'm kind of at a loss because if you could add in guns, but there's already a lot of guns in the game. You could maybe put in like vehicle skins, but I'm pretty sure those are already included in the battle pass. And then like if you do anything gameplay wise where you're like, okay, this map is only available if you buy the battle pass, then you're splitting your servers where you have people who are not buying the battle pass, and then you don't have the same player population that's spread out. So I think that this is a very interesting and unique problem to Battlefield as a modern first-person shooter. And I don't know that there's an easy answer other than to try to ride the line every season where you're putting in skins that are kind of cool, but they still look realistic. So, yeah, it's like, and one of the reasons I love the finals is because, it embraces its wackiness. And so you can have skins of everything, and it doesn't matter because you're not trying to be a realistic war game. So
yeah, I feel like games that are trying to do that really need to focus on their gameplay, and when they add something new, it's got to be gameplay because, again, a game where you can kind of look a little silly or like be part of a team and have that vibe, like be a part of the game, that's great, but not in Battlefield. And Call of Duty, I guess, being less serious, like they are able to do it. They're in a tough time, like you said. They're in a tough spot.
Yeah. So, but the game sold well. They're owned by the
Saudi Arabian Jared Kushner. So.
Yeah, so they're fine.
So I won't be buying anymore
also,
anyway.
They turned off the Anthem servers, so screw them.
Forget them. This will never be forgiven.
All right. Yeah,
let's talk about something good.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
So, Deadpool is coming to Marvel Rivals. This felt like forever away when they announced it at the Game Awards, but it is here. Deadpool has been kind of teased in every interaction or every like little bit we've had within the game menus as different classes, as a vanguard, as a duelist, as a strategist, and come to find out, whoopity-doo, he's all three.
He's all three.
He's all three, so you could change between your skill sets at the character select point. So you are able to kind of manipulate Deadpool a little bit that way. But another interesting thing about him is he levels up, and you get to put different points to make like his katanas, his guns, his ultimate stronger. So really exciting character. The little video feature that we got of his gameplay is very wacky. Some of the stuff he could do is like flood the opponent who he targets with a bunch of little like Deadpools to distract them while he targets them and puts pressure on them.
2D
so there's
animations and whatnot.
Yeah, there's really cool stuff underway for Deadpool. Do you think this is enough to bring you back to Marvel Rivals, Paul?
Yes.
That's a no.
No, I mean, like, honestly, Gambit was enough to bring me back. My problem with Marvel Rivals is, any competitive shooter, I prefer to play on PC, mouse and keyboard. And that game is just too many gigabytes. It's insane how many gigabytes that game is. So I am going to get a bigger hard drive this year, but I had to uninstall it just for space. Because there's other things I wanted to play. But yeah, I think it's really cool. There are still like some confusing things about Deadpool to me that I don't know that this video fully explained. He has like a leveling up system during the match, so that makes me like feel like, okay, they're really leaning into the MOBA bit a lot. But at first I thought it was like, because in MOBAs, as you level up as the match goes on, you could be like, okay, do I want to focus on the DPS of this character, the duelist of this character, or do I want to focus on the tank or the vanguard of this character? And I thought that's what the Deadpool leveling up system was, but it really doesn't seem like it is. It seems like if you're in the start screen when you're picking your characters and you pick Deadpool duelist, then you have the duelist powers, and then you level up those duelist powers in the game. So I still think that feels really cool, and I still think that they're doing such a great job at making every character really feel unique while still keeping a lot of gameplay universal, which is really hard to do. So I commend them on that. I do foresee it being like kind of annoying when like I want to play Deadpool as a strategist, but someone's already locked Deadpool as a vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
And where it feels like that should be a different character, but I'm not allowed to be multiple Deadpools in a game.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought it's a little silly, just to touch back on the skins thing we were talking about for Battlefield. Like if the cosmetics, if the battle pass did not rely on cosmetics, I think it would have been funny that if you play as Deadpool as a duelist, he has his normal outfit on. But if you're playing as him as a strategist, maybe it's like Dr. Deadpool, like
Yeah.
Dr. Mario or whatever. And so like I thought that might have been cool. But because of the skins and the cosmetics, they probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, it would create a lot of problems, but it would be great. That's yeah, I'm interested to see. Like, I feel like the game's at a good point now where when someone picks a role I want to play, or two people pick it, I'm like, okay, well, there's someone else I can definitely go play, and I will
Yeah,
have a
because
good
there's so
time.
many options. Yeah.
There's so many options. I know they are releasing with it a mode where you can play as multiple of one character or the other. So it'll be like a Deadpool like clone battle, most likely.
Oh my god.
But it's a great way to get people to be able to play those characters and figure out whether or not they like them. Because there's been times where characters comes out that I'm like, I'm really excited for this, and I play it. I'm like, I actually don't like that at all.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this pans out. Okay, my one negative critique here,
Mm-hmm.
that it's an actual critique that I can say from the video. I do not love the voice actor for Deadpool. It just something feels a little bit off. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's not Nolan North, Nolan
Yeah,
North. So I kind of thought it would be him, but I think that he already voices Rocket in that game.
yeah,
So maybe they didn't want to go with him. Or maybe it
yeah.
wasn't available.
I guess the other thing that I'm thinking is it might take like the fact that you have to kind of go in and select different points. Like, he opens up a little book and you assign points. Might kind of take you out of the fight in ways that will be weird. But those are my two main critiques. Marvel Rivals is kicking and doing its thing and adding substantial stuff every time. So happy to see it. But yeah, this one is exciting. This Friday, we can all start playing as Deadpool together.
Woo! All right. Well, more new things in old video games. South Park has made an appearance in Fortnite. Looks pretty cool. They're adding 5 playable characters, so all the classic South Park kids: Cartman, Kenny, Stan, oh god, and Kyle, and then Butters as Professor Chaos. I think is his evil.
His alter ego.
Yeah. They're throwing the Stick of Truth in there, so it's a little bit of like a Stick of Truth crossover, which I think was fun. I think it's so funny that South Park probably got this deal done with Fortnite prior to their episodes that came out about all their political episodes. So that's pretty funny, and I do like how they put the characters in the game, like size wise, because obviously Cartman is not the right size of a Fortnite character. So putting them in all the little mechs and whatnot seems like a good idea and seems really cool. So it's also awesome that you get to like play in South Park. Like I love South Park, and this is another example of Fortnite doing a great job pumping out really good content that's unique to whatever license that they're doing, like South Park or like they did with The Simpsons late last year.
I will say you're not going to be playing in South Park per se.
What?
Yeah, you're still on the Fortnite map.
Okay.
And I think there is like
or the battle bus
wonky land.
Is the South Park bus right now?
Maybe.
I thought I saw that.
But you can get a glider that is the Imagination Land glider. The Stick of Truth seems to be an item in the game, only one of which will appear in each round. And when you pick it up, you become the round's final boss, which is a pretty solid ad. They did this like with Superman and Godzilla in previous seasons, but it seems like a lot of the stuff will just be skins that you can buy in the shop, and then a mini battle pass that you can also buy to level up and get all the bonuses, which
Right
are just a few. I don't think it's the skins, but yeah.
Right on. Okay, so this was what I was thinking of. Wonky Land is now Cartman Land.
Yes. Yeah.
So I guess it's just been reskinned as Cartman Land. So which is just a part of the regular Fortnite map.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, right on. Still very cool. Fans of Fortnite, here's another W.
Enjoy. It's pretty much free.
Yeah, for real. All right, next up on the list, another crossover. Like I said, Call of Duty. This came out, I think it came out like last week now, but along with the Fallout show airing on Amazon Prime, Call of Duty has a Fallout pass, or multiple versions of the pass I think you can get. So this, this is cool, and it's kind of backstepping on what they said about this Call of Duty, where they were not going to do wacky things. They were going to try to do what Battlefield did and keep it in universe. This is specifically not in universe at all.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I think the power armor and the ghoul and like the vault dweller characters you can play as are really cool. They are, but it just feels a little weird that they said they weren't going to do this, and then it's January and they're doing it already. And you know that they were probably working on this for a while. So I don't know. I think somebody in PR is kind of pissed right now over at Call of Duty.
Yeah, I will say I think this sucks. Again, like Fallout, cool. I think we've talked about Fallout on the show a bunch over the past week. I think the show is one of the best things about Fallout recently. But I think the power armor, like being in the game, sucks. Like it feels like the model is not going to move correctly because you're going to be sprinting and sliding around the match. The ghoul is a pretty cool ad, but also it just feels like a very cheap addition. In my books, like it just kind of reminds me that we're not getting new Fallout for a while in terms of games. Yeah. And they have a female Vault Dweller and a male Vault Dweller, and they're not, none of them are Ella Purnell or anyone else. Like they're kind of just generic looking characters. You have Maximus from the show, and you have the Ghoul,
think there is a Ella Purnell skin. Maybe
I'm looking. I don't see one.
It's not listed in the regular pass, but I've seen video of her in the game. So, which is another problem with their marketing.
They didn't. It looks. I guess there is going to be some of her. She. Okay, I guess she's already in the game.
Yes, I think she's like a free. You get her for free or whatever, or something like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, it also, like, how meta is this? This is this is a battle pass in a video game that's based on a TV show that's based on another video game. This is a lot, guys. So
and also, like, this is not Fallout by any metric.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination, this is not what the game is. So don't do this. Somebody stop.
Phil's over it.
Yeah.
Phil
I hate this so much, but Activision and Bethesda are both owned by Microsoft, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why it happened. Yeah. All right. Let's get into our last news story. This one broke probably like an hour or two right before we started recording. The God of War show that is set to come out, I believe, on Amazon Prime, has cast its Kratos, and it is Ryan Hurst. If you've heard that name before, it is because he's a fairly well-known actor, but he actually played Thor in God of War Ragnarok. He was the voice actor for Thor. Some of you also might know him from Sons of Anarchy. I know him from, he was in, I think, a couple seasons of The Walking Dead. He was one of the bad guys in The Walking Dead. So he's a very good actor, pretty seasoned. He looks like good casting. I guess my only hesitation would be, it's like he can't do his Thor voice for Kratos.
Yeah.
That will be so weird if that's what Kratos sounds like, especially because he was already in the game. So but I'm curious to see what the actor can do. I have gone on the record saying I don't want a God of War show. I don't need it. It's just going to be a crappier version of the game. Also, we're jumping into this version of God of War instead of like going back to the beginning in Greek God of War, which is really weird. So yeah, I don't know. I wish this actor all the best, and I hope he does a great job, but I still don't want this TV show. So
yeah, hoping for the best for Ryan Hurst. Again, I think kind of echoing what you said. I think the TV show might be a mistake, but it also, it might be fun, it might be good. I feel like they need a big budget to really match up to a lot of the things the game offers.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're gonna do some scenes on a canoe. They're gonna do some scenes on a sled. That'll be fine. And Amazon has a pretty decent track record so far. I mean, they made the Fallout show, which is doing pretty well. I feel like they don't have as many misses as Netflix, for example, when it comes to these properties.
I think they have plenty of misses, man. I think you just haven't heard of them.
Well, no, but I mean, like, for these properties, for like, when they get something big, they're like, we're actually going to put some Amazon money into it. Like the Vox Machina, the Critical Role shows. They seem
Lord of the Rings show?
The Lord of the Rings show listen, I watched it because there was a lot of people online being like, you can't have Puerto Rican elves, and I was like, I'm watching the balls off of this show. And then I did. And I think Sauron was more interesting in that show than he was in the movies. But it was just cool to get a little bit more from that. And I feel like that show's budget was fine. So even if they just reuse a bunch of props, go off, make this show, but also don't do it because we don't need it. We've got 38 great hours of gameplay.
I don't need the show. Like I think I've said this before, but it's just like The Last of Us has been very successful. I still much prefer The Last of Us video games, but it is a good show. Like, I'm not, like, it definitely has its moments. I like the changes that they made for the show. I think they make sense for a TV show to make those changes. But The Last of Us lines up with a 10-episode, like, TV show a lot better than most video games do. And it's because in The Last of Us, the action is somewhat realistic. And so you can do that action. And then it's very narrative driven. For this show, like you said, it's like you're going to need a lot of budget, and not just for the set pieces and the props. You're going to need a lot of CGI, like a lot of stuff. To make Ryan Hurst,
the Mimir budget itself is going to be through the roof.
Yeah,
the little head hanging on the back of your belt.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, we need to put Pedro Pascal in jeans and a brown coat, and look, he's Joel. It's not the same thing. These are completely different genres of video games. I get that they're both, you play them over the shoulder, which probably God of War stole that from The Last of Us a little bit, but. Yeah, I'm very wary. So we will see. I'll give it a shot because I do love God of War and I do respect this actor. So, all right.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts on that before we move on to the main topic, Phil?
I don't think they can make the axe feel as good as it did in the game on TV.
I mean, Mjolnir felt pretty cool in the Marvel movies, but...
Yeah, but this axe in the game feels cooler than me watching Mjolnir.
Yes, that is very true. So nothing we can do about that. All right, let's get into our main topic. We are going to be talking about the Steam Machine, this week. We've had a little bit of news already come out about the Steam Machine late last year, but we finally got a look at what their pricing is actually going to be, and it's going to be $1,000 for a Steam Machine. The cheapest version they're looking at maybe selling it at $960. But spoiler alert: if you live in a place where there's taxes, going to be more than $1,000. So,
oh yeah, here in California, the base version that is a 512 gigabytes costs $950. You add the sort of 10, I round up to 10% because it's like 9 point something. You add the 10% tax to that, you are paying above $1,000 for this machine. The 2 terabyte model is listed as $1,070, which should then mean it's closer to $1,200 for this particular box. So that's good.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many problems with this, but let's just take one thing at a time. So firstly, the cheapest version is 500 gigabytes.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? How are you selling a machine with 500 gigabytes? That's $1,000. A PlayStation 5, the base model, an Xbox, the base model, is half the price with double the storage.
Yeah.
This is my thing with Valve is like, I respect them as a company. Obviously, they are a video game giant, and they have created a money machine that I interact with. So, I don't want to hide my hypocrisy here. Like, I use Steam probably on a daily basis. But like, this is not a product that who is going to buy this? The only people that are going to buy this are like the people who are like, no matter what Steam does, I'm going to buy it. If Steam's, whether it's a controller or they're releasing the Valve Index or whatever, I'm going to buy it no matter what. I think that most gamers, and we're talking about people who can afford $1,000 video game console, which is what this is, you're talking about adults. There are no kids that are going to get this. And so then you're asking them to spend double what they would on a regular console for the same specs and less storage, but they get access to their Steam library, just seems pretty crazy to me.
Yep.
Are you in the same boat as I am, or like?
Yeah, if you're getting this, just get a gaming PC and install Steam on it. Like, there is no reason in my mind that this is better. You plug it into your TV, sure. I will say also, it looks a little ridiculous. It is just a black cube. It is literally a GameCube more than the GameCube was. And I'm guessing, it's interesting to sit that next to your TV. Because I feel like...
What did you just say? Maybe it's interesting to sit it next to your TV.
Yeah. But,
you know what I need next to my TV? A black box.
Black box.
Just a black box.
Well, I mean, it might look like a speaker, and then all of a sudden you're like, no, but check it out. It plays Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
The minimalist in me is like, okay, that's semi-interesting. But make your game console look like something. Don't make it look like just, possibly a weird black cube. Yeah, I don't know. I think Steam is kind of out over their skis on this one. Hopefully this leak was intentional, and they're like, haha, actually, fools, it's $600, so to make that hurt less... But I doubt that is the case. Also, the jump in numbers from 512 to 2 terabytes is crazy for that price differential.
Yeah.
I know RAM is expensive thanks to AI choking the life out of everything we do.
Yeah.
But there is just, in my opinion, no excuse for this, especially the fact that Game Newell has a fleet of boats with hospitals on them.
Yeah.
You gotta charge less for this, you guys. This can't be this much money.
I just don't. This is just not a viable product. Again, you know what this is for? This is for people who work at Valve, who are like, I buy all my games through Steam on my supercomputer, and I want to be able to have a box that I can put in my living room. So I don't have to move my supercomputer to my living room if I want to play it on a big screen. That's what this is for. And it's like, I do get having everything under one account makes it easy, But there's a number of problems. Like, there used to be a problem where, like, I would want to buy something on a console, but I'd have some friends who would want to play it on PC. And so, like, we would have to coordinate and be like, okay, are you getting it on console or PC so we can play together and whatnot? But now that crossplay has come along, it matters a lot less what your preference is. You know, I brought up, I was playing Rematch. My other friends, and I think you as well, all play Rematch on PC. I'm playing on PlayStation. Doesn't matter because we can play together. So, like, having everything coming from one company matters less. And so, do I really need my Steam library in my living room if I already own any console? Even an Xbox, which Microsoft, as we've discussed many times, is largely abandoning this year. It's just like, I do not understand this product at all. And I think this falls perfectly in line with all of their other products, where it's like, hey, we're just kind of making hardware prototypes. And they're really just for us in-house. And we don't have to prove that they're profitable because Steam makes so much money. We're always profitable. So, yeah, I'm just a little frustrated that, like, the largest company in gaming is really out of touch. So,
it is kind of common knowledge that with a lot of these game machines, the Xbox, the all of Nintendo's consoles, probably actually less so Nintendo's consoles, but Sony consoles, they take a loss on the console itself, especially for the first, like, 2 or 3 years. Like, once they refine everything in it and are selling it at the best expense, but they take a loss because they expect you to buy into the ecosystem, because then you are buying games from that ecosystem.
Exactly.
And that is what they need to do if they want to win casual people over. And to be fair, kind of everyone knows what Steam is if you are remotely a gamer.
Yeah.
But if you want to win people over, you have to get into their house with the box and then let them buy things on the box. Maybe the idea is, like, Steam is so well known for sales and cheap games and all this type of thing that people are thinking, oh, I'm going to get the Steam box and then I'll have access to all the Steam sales and I can play Call of Duty Black Ops for $5 less. That's a terrible example because that game will never go down in value. But
even, like, here's the thing: Steam sales. Steam doesn't even do sales as good as other places now. Like, the Steam sale, I think, ended for Christmas. I think it ended January 5th, which is, like, a very reasonable time to end it. I'm not criticizing them for that. But Sony's PlayStation sale has been going on prior to Christmas, and I think it's going until, like, January 20th or at the end of the month. And so it's like you can still get games that were on Christmas prices, on the sale prices right now. Whereas that's already ended. And so, like, having the Steam sale be this exclusive thing to Valve, look, they started it, and I want to give them the credit for starting it, but they have not finished it.
The fight has been finished by everyone else.
Yes, exactly.
Except for Nintendo. They never put their games on sale.
Exactly.
But I think this is just, it is out of touch. That is, you put it exactly the right way.
Yeah.
They are asking for so much money for this console, and then you're going to have to pay more for controllers. You're going to have to pay more for... Listen, it would be nice to have my Steam library on my TV, but I don't play games on my TV anymore anyway. I have my dude cave that I play games in. I hold up like an ogre, and I don't leave. Stop trying to change me, Valve.
I don't. It's also, even if you get the 1 terabyte, like, that's not enough space either. Like, it's not. I added another terabyte to my PlayStation, and I still have to. So I have 2 terabytes on there, and I'm still having to move stuff around. You know, I have 2 terabytes on my, PC, which I need more for Marvel Rivals, obviously. But it's just like, that's not enough space at all. So maybe they're going to push this with the approach of, if you plug this in your living room, you could do Steam cloud streaming as opposed to having everything installed, which would make the 512 gigabyte model viable. but like it's not really viable at 500. If Marvel Rivals is 130 gigs or whatever it is, it's like there goes a good chunk of your space, and we all know
I'm playing 2 games.
Yeah. Also, we all know whenever we're talking hard disk space, which this is something that the industry needs to crack down on. It's like if you tell me a computer or this hard drive has 2 terabytes of space, and then I load it up and it has 1.8 terabytes of space, it has 1.8 terabytes of space. And so when they say 512, no, it doesn't, because you have to have the Steam user interface installed on it and everything else. And so is it really 512 or is it really 450? So I'm frustrated about this. I'm very curious to see what happens when this thing comes to market, if it actually ever does. So we will keep you abreast to what happens. All right. All right.
Every week, don't buy it. Don't get it.
Don't.
Not this week. Don't do it.
They're like Nega sponsoring us.
Yeah.
All right.
Gabe Newell is firing from his fleet of yachts, but missiles at us.
Exactly. Anything else you want to touch on here, Phil, before we wrap it up?
I will buy it if it launches with Half-Life 3.
There you go. That's a reasonable ask. Very reasonable ask. So that's good. But yeah, nothing else. You don't want to complain about the Stranger Things ending or the fact that they didn't actually write the last episodes.
Listen, you know what? I'll talk about it right now. I was thinking about this. People were like, where'd all the Demogorgons go? And the writers were like, we just didn't want to do Demogorgon fatigue. I kind of get that. Earlier in the season, the kids clowned on some Demogorgons. But what you could have done is, like, during the fight, have someone read a line like, where's all the Demogorgons? And then you see, like, what Will is actually doing for the majority of the fight. He's holding them all at bay. Like, they're all just frozen on, like, a big arena around the fight happening with. The big thing would have been really cool. Would have probably taken a chunk of money that they didn't want to put into that. But it was fine. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't care. It's Stranger Things. Not...
I mean, it's just all the stuff that's been circulating with, like, the behind the scenes stuff of them not knowing what they were going to do. It's kind of funny to me. So, but spoiler alert, that's how a lot of things get made.
Yeah. A lot of times the script is being finished as things are filming.
Yeah, so. You think there's a grand plan, and there's not. There's not a grand plan.
The editor is the real chief person putting things together.
100%.
But besides that, it is sometimes up to the whims of fate. So,
indeed. All right, we're gonna end it there for episode 107 of the GGG Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio-only version on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, follow us over there as well. We'll be back next week. I don't know what's coming out, but we will be talking about it.
Yep.
Love you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.